Have you ever felt trapped in a never-ending cycle of frustration and dissatisfaction? Do you wake up every morning with the feeling that something is missing, but you don't know exactly what? The work is exhausting, the relationships are complicated, and worries about the future don't seem to give you peace. What if I told you that there is an ancient wisdom capable of changing all this? Today we're going to explore the top 10 lessons from Marcus Aurelius. These 10 lessons are not just philosophies to reflect on, but practical tools to change your life right now. You probably live or have experienced at least one of these lessons. They'll show you what to do when you feel lost, why you should change your approach, and how to start transforming your life with concrete actions. We also left the most important one for last, so be sure to watch the entire video and reflect on all these valuable lessons. You'll feel inspired to act on Marcus Aurelius's ideas, to see opportunities where there were previously obstacles, and to find a new direction for your life. So if you're ready for a true transformation, keep watching. Get ready to dive into the ideas that have changed lives for generations, and that can change yours too. Let's begin our journey with Marcus Aurelius and explore how you can apply these lessons to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. But first, have you ever stopped to reflect on how Stoic wisdom can help you overcome challenges and achieve inner tranquility? So how ancient knowledge can enrich your life and enhance your personal development? If the answer is yes, then don't waste any more time. Subscribe now to our channel and get access to the best videos on these topics and much more. Join us and be part of a community in search of growth, self-knowledge, and overcoming. Your future self will thank you. First lesson, a good start. A good start is half the battle. Marcus Aurelius, the wise emperor and Stoic philosopher, knew this better than anyone. He understood that the way we start our day can set the tone for everything that comes next. Waking up early, even when you don't feel like it, is a powerful habit that he diligently cultivated. By rising early, Marcus Aurelius showed a commitment to excellence and discipline that we can all adopt in our own lives. Imagine yourself on a typical day. You wake up with the alarm and feel that urge to stay under the covers. The temptation to postpone awakening is strong, but it is at this moment that the battle begins. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that getting up early and facing the day with determination is an act of discipline. He likened this moment to a man's work, a task that requires strength and courage. Getting up early for him was not just a matter of routine, but an exercise in willpower and purpose. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of starting the day focused. He said that we should concentrate as if each task were the last thing we would do in life. This intensity of purpose is a powerful lesson for all of us. By approaching the day with this mindset, every action gains meaning and urgency, encouraging us to give our best in everything we do. To create an effective morning routine, we must follow the example of Marcus Aurelius. First, it is essential to wake up early. This simple act of getting out of bed with determination already puts us ahead in the battle of the day. Once you're standing, taking time for reflection and meditation can be incredibly beneficial. Marcus Aurelius used his mornings to write down his thoughts, a practice that allowed him to clear his mind and prepare for the challenges of the day. This morning meditation practice, where he wrote down his reflections and prepared his spirit, was critical to his inner peace and success as a leader. Epictetus' teachings are also valuable here. He said, "Be strict with yourself and tolerant with others." Applying this to our morning routine, we can understand that the discipline we impose on ourselves as soon as we wake up strengthens us to be more patient and effective in dealing with the demands and interactions of the day. Practicing morning gratitude can be another important component. Seneca advises us to start the day by acknowledging the good things in our life. When you wake up, take a moment to mentally list or write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not only does this lift your mood, but it also sets your mind to see the day with a positive and resilient outlook. Another crucial element is to set clear priorities for the day. Marcus Aurelius believed in focusing on the most important tasks with the same dedication as a Roman in battle. Starting your day by identifying your key goals and actions ensures that you direct your energy to what really matters. This practice of morning prioritization helps you avoid distractions and stay focused on meaningful achievements. Physical preparation should not be neglected either. Waking up early and incorporating some kind of physical exercise, even if it's a brief walk or stretch, invigorates the body and mind. As Seneca pointed out, the mind that is healthy in a healthy body is better able to face challenges with vigor and clarity. Finally, it's critical to approach the day with the right mindset. Marcus Aurelius teaches us to face each day with courage and determination, knowing that success does not come by chance, but is the result of preparation and deliberate action. He said that we should approach today not as a fortuitous lot, but as an opportunity conquered by our own preparation and effort. So remember, a good start is half the battle. Get up early, meditate, practice gratitude, set your priorities, and take care of your body. With discipline and determination, every morning can become a solid foundation for a day of success and fulfillment. Second lesson, seeing beyond barriers. It is undeniable that in many moments people can be a source of frustration and discontent. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often expressed his disappointment with human behavior. He began his reflections by acknowledging how unpleasant and difficult other people can be. However, it is precisely in these difficulties that the opportunity to apply Stoic philosophy in its purest and most transformative form lies. Marcus Aurelius didn't just see people as obstacles, but as challenges that allow us to grow and apply virtue. He reminds us that rather than blaming others for our difficulties, we should see every interaction as a chance to practice justice, temperance, courage, and wisdom. True excellence is not measured by the absence of challenges, but by the way we deal with them. When we face injustices, we have the chance to respond justly. Being fair in the face of injustice is an act of greatness and inner strength. The injustice of others does not define us, our response does. Marcus Aurelius urges us to be the embodiment of justice, even when everyone around us chooses the path of injustice. It is in this practice that we find the true reward, peace of mind and moral integrity. Likewise, intemperance and lack of control of others should not drag us into chaos. Instead, we should cultivate temperance and self-control. Facing intemperance calmly and moderately allows us to maintain our serenity and not be dominated by the passions of others. Courage is another fundamental virtue that we can practice in the face of the cowardice of others. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act correctly despite fear. In times of crisis, when cowardice seems to prevail, our courage stands out as a beacon of hope and leadership. Courage not only strengthens us, but also inspires others to act with bravery and dignity. The barriers we encounter in human relationships are therefore paths that allow us to develop and perfect our virtues. Every obstacle is a lesson, an opportunity to apply Stoic philosophy and grow as individuals. The difficulties imposed by others are not excuses to give up, but invitations to become better. Instead of blaming people, we should thank them for providing us with these valuable opportunities for growth. In addition, Stoic philosophy teaches us to have compassion and understanding for human failings. Marcus Aurelius said, "Each of us can only act according to our own nature." Recognizing that everyone has their own internal struggles helps us to be more patient and tolerant. This empathy allows us to build more harmonious relationships and contributes to an environment of respect and cooperation. To practice these lessons in everyday life, it is helpful to adopt an approach of constant self-reflection. At the end of each day, reflect on how you have dealt with the challenges presented by others. Ask yourself, was I fair in the face of injustice? Have I maintained my temperance in the face of intemperance? Was I brave when others were cowards? This daily practice helps us internalize Stoic principles and apply them more effectively. In summary, people can be frustrating and difficult, but it is through these interactions that we find opportunities to grow and apply Stoic philosophy. Don't blame others for your difficulties. See them as unwitting masters who help shape your character. Be fair, temperate, and courageous, regardless of the actions of others. By cultivating these virtues, you not only become a better master of yourself, but you also inspire and uplift those around you. Face each barrier as a path and each person as a lesson, and thus you will find true wisdom and inner peace. Third lesson, the importance of asking. In our fast-paced society, the feeling of being constantly busy is almost universal. But have you ever wondered how many of the tasks that take up our time are actually essential? Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, challenges us to question everything we do and say with a simple question. Is this necessary? This seemingly simple question has the power to radically transform our lives and bring clarity and purpose to our daily lives. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that most of what we do is not truly necessary. Often our actions are motivated by external expectations or the social pressure to be constantly busy. However, if we were to put ourselves in the hypothetical situation of knowing that our time is about to run out, how many of these activities would we continue to do? This deep reflection invites us to re-evaluate our priorities and focus on what really matters. The practice of asking, "Is this necessary?" helps us eliminate distractions and focus our efforts on activities that truly add value to our lives. By daring to question the necessity of our actions, we gain the courage to simplify our lives and focus on the essentials. This minimalist approach has dual benefits. Not only does it reduce the amount of tasks on our list, but it also allows us to do the things that really matter better. When we eliminate the superfluous, we free up time and energy to devote to activities that bring us true satisfaction and growth. By applying this philosophy, we can calmly accept what we do not control and focus on what is within our power to improve. In addition, the practice of asking, "Is this necessary?" invites us to live in a more conscious and present way. By eliminating unnecessary tasks, we make room for reflection and appreciation of life's simple moments. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that true happiness is not in incessant activities, but in the tranquility and inner peace that come from simplicity. When we simplify our lives, we connect more deeply with ourselves and others, cultivating more meaningful and authentic relationships. By applying this principle, we can also improve our efficiency and productivity. Focusing on the essentials allows us to direct our attention and resources more effectively. As a result, we become more competent and fulfilled in our activities, whether at work, in studies, or in our personal lives. Marcus Aurelius taught us that quality is far more important than quantity, and by focusing on what is truly needed, we ensure that our actions are meaningful and impactful. Adopting this practice is not easy. It requires courage to challenge social norms and the determination to stay focused on what really matters. However, the benefits are immense. By cultivating the habit of asking, "Is this necessary?" we develop a clarity of purpose and inner strength that allows us to live according to our deepest values. We become masters of our own destiny, living with intention and meaning. Fourth lesson, the strength of the soul. The great Stoic philosophers taught us to value the strength of the soul above all else. Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius reminded us that true freedom and sovereignty of the mind come from resilience and inner strength. In the midst of life's turmoil, it is essential to cultivate an unwavering mind, capable of maintaining calm and determination in the face of any adversity. As Epictetus said, only God can give us tranquility, and this tranquility comes from the inner strength that we cultivate in our being. By working daily on the building of our soul, we strengthen not only our mind, but also all the other virtues that emanate from it. The strength of the soul allows us to face challenges with courage and serenity, without being shaken by external storms. Therefore, let us follow the teachings of the Stoics and strengthen our soul, basing it on the ancient wisdom that has been bequeathed to us. May the inner strength we cultivate guide us on our journey towards self-knowledge and wholeness. May calm and determination be our constant companions, even in the most difficult moments. And how to practice this lesson? Well, let's go to a brief history. On a day like any other, João faced a challenging situation in his work. He was faced with a complex problem and there was enormous pressure to solve it quickly. In the midst of this turbulent scenario, John was reminded of the teachings of the Stoic philosophers about the importance of cultivating the strength of the soul. Taking a deep breath, he sought within himself the resilience and serenity necessary to deal with adversity. By maintaining his calm and determination in the face of obstacle, John realized how inner strength helped him overcome challenges with courage and patience. Like John, each of us faces our own challenges in our daily lives. It is precisely in these moments of difficulty that the strength of the soul is most present and necessary. By cultivating this virtue, we are able to face external storms with bravery and balance, without allowing them to shake our inner being. So remember that true freedom and sovereignty of the mind come from resilience and inner strength. Cultivate the strength of the soul in your daily life and allow yourself to reach a state of tranquility and serenity, even in the face of the most complex challenges. Fifth lesson: the other way is always open. Stoic philosophy teaches us a deep and powerful truth. Even when one path is blocked, another is always open. It is a perspective that challenges us to see beyond immediate limitations and to find new opportunities in the midst of difficulties. Marcus Aurelius, in his practical and realistic wisdom, reminds us that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we always have the power to choose how to react. This ability to adapt and resilience is what truly defines the Stoic spirit. Imagine yourself facing a seemingly insurmountable challenge. Maybe it's a barrier in your career, a personal obstacle, or an unexpected adversity. The first reaction may be frustration, despair, or even feeling paralyzed. However, the Stoics encourage us to see these moments as opportunities to practice virtue and excellence. Instead of seeing the barrier as an end, we should see it as a chance to grow, to strengthen ourselves, and to discover new skills. When a path is closed, it doesn't mean we're out of options. We can always practice patience, forgiveness, creativity, and adaptability. Each obstacle is a disguised opportunity to develop these virtues. Consider the metaphor of a closed door. For many, a locked door can symbolize the end of the journey, an insurmountable barrier. However, the Stoics teach us to look for open windows, alternative passages that we may not have noticed before. If a skill or opportunity is blocked, other skills and opportunities are still within our reach. We can use this situation to develop new skills, explore new paths, and above all, practice resilience. The philosopher Seneca offers us another valuable reflection. Life, if well enjoyed, is long enough. This quote encourages us to utilize our time wisely and intentionally, even in the face of adversity. When we encounter roadblocks in our path, we can choose to see these moments as opportunities to learn and grow. By doing so, we turn obstacles into stepping stones that lead us to a higher level of understanding and competence. The essence of Stoicism lies in accepting that we have no control over every event that happens to us, but we do have complete control over our responses. This practical philosophy enables us to find freedom in any circumstance, for true freedom lies in our ability to choose our reactions. Even when we are faced with impediments, we can decide how to act and what direction to take. Thus, we are never really stuck. The ability to adapt is intrinsic to human beings. We can change our perspectives, adjust our strategies, and keep moving forward. The practice of excellence and virtue is not dependent on external circumstances, but rather on our internal decision to persevere and continually improve. By internalizing these teachings, we can face life's challenges with a new mindset. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by obstacles, we can see them as opportunities for growth. We can develop unwavering resilience, knowing that even when one path closes, others open up. This is the essence of Stoicism, the unshakable belief that we always have the power to choose to adapt and to turn any situation into an opportunity for the practice of virtue and excellence. Therefore, see the barrier not as an end, but as an invitation to explore new paths and develop new skills. Thus, you will discover that the other path is always open, and that true power lies in your ability to choose and to adapt. Lesson 6. Putting people first. In the vastness of human history, Few leaders have shone with clarity of purpose and virtue like Marcus Aurelius. In times of calamity, when the Antonine Plague ravaged Rome, claiming lives and leaving the economy in ruins, Marcus Aurelius stood out not only for his leadership skills, but for his deep humanity and commitment to the well-being of his people. His story offers us a powerful lesson about the true essence of Stoicism, putting people first, even when it requires personal sacrifice. During the darkest months of the plague, as death roamed the streets of Rome and hopelessness seeped into the minds of citizens, Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, made a decision that would echo through the ages. He began to roam the gardens of the Grand Palace, marking luxury objects, jewelry, and clothes to be sold. It wasn't just a symbolic act, it was a powerful statement that in times of crisis, the leader must sacrifice his own comfort for the greater good. Like a CEO who takes a pay cut so his company can survive, or an athlete who renegotiates his contract so the team can hire new talent, Marcus Aurelius has demonstrated that true leadership requires putting the needs of others above your own. By relinquishing his possessions, Marcus Aurelius sent a clear and resonant message. I'm not going to prioritize myself. I don't need all these fancy things when my people are suffering. This act of material abdication was not only a gesture of generosity, but a deep commitment to the Stoic principles of simplicity, resilience, and service to the community. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true happiness does not come from material possessions, but from virtue and the fulfillment of duty. Marcus Aurelius embodied this wisdom by living up to these values, even when circumstances were incredibly difficult. Reflecting on this story invites us to consider how we can apply these principles in our own lives. In a world where success is often measured by the accumulation of wealth and status, Marcus Aurelius's narrative challenges us to reconsider our priorities. What does it really mean to lead? How can we put the needs of others first instead of relentlessly pursuing our own interests? The answer can be found in the Stoic teachings that emphasize the importance of empathy, compassion, and personal sacrifice. By choosing to see crisis as an opportunity to serve, rather than a calamity to be feared, Marcus Aurelius showed us that true strength lies in our ability to stand firm in our values, regardless of the circumstances. Similarly, Seneca wrote, "Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given for the accomplishment of the greatest things, if our whole life is well employed." This reflection encourages us to use our time and resources wisely and not to waste our lives on trivial pursuits. Marcus Aurelius, by renouncing his luxuries in favor of his people, exemplified this wisdom, demonstrating that greatness is measured by the positive impact we have on others. By internalizing these teachings, we can cultivate a Stoic mindset in our own lives, focusing on what really matters: the health and well-being of our community, the integrity of our actions, and the virtue of our character. The story of Marcus Aurelius reminds us that even in times of great adversity, we have the power to choose compassion, leadership, and sacrifice as our guides. By doing so, we not only honor Stoic principles, but also become beacons of hope and resilience for those around us. Seventh lesson: letting go of anxiety. In modern society, anxiety is a constant companion for many of us. It manifests itself in different ways, whether in fear of failure, concern about the future, or insecurity about what we cannot control. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, offers us a powerful perspective for dealing with this debilitating emotion: the practice of mindfulness and the acceptance of responsibility for our thoughts and emotions. He teaches us that by recognizing the inner source of our anxiety, we can begin to free ourselves from it and achieve lasting inner peace. Imagine that you are about to board a plane or face a challenging situation at work. Anxiety begins to creep in, bringing with it a flood of troubling thoughts and irrational fears. The first reaction may be to try to avoid the situation or look for excuses not to face it. However, as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, this evasion does not solve the root of the problem. The real solution lies in confronting anxiety, recognizing that it is not caused by external circumstances, but by our internal interpretations and reactions. When we understand that the source of our anxiety is internal, we gain the power to change our perspective and thus reduce the impact of these negative emotions. By practicing self-awareness, we can identify the thoughts that fuel our anxiety and replace them with more rational and reassuring beliefs. During the pandemic, many of us have faced heightened levels of anxiety and uncertainty. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations during a time of great turmoil, and his reflections offer a timeless guide to facing difficult times. He recognized that anxiety doesn't simply disappear by avoiding stressful situations. On the contrary, true liberation comes by accepting that anxiety is a construction of our mind. He encourages us to confront these feelings directly by writing about his own struggles with anxiety and how he learned to dismiss it. The practice of Stoic meditation can be a powerful tool for managing anxiety. Seneca, another prominent Stoic, advised, "Hurry up to live well and think that each day is in itself a life." This quote reminds us of the importance of living in the present and of not allowing worry about the future to obscure our current moment. By cultivating a mindset of presence and gratitude, we can reduce anxiety and find greater peace and contentment. To apply these teachings in our everyday lives, it is helpful to develop a regular practice of reflection and meditation. Take a few minutes each day to sit quietly, observe your thoughts, and acknowledge the sources of your anxiety. Ask yourself, are these fears based in reality or are they creations of my mind? By doing so, you'll begin to distinguish between valid worries and irrational anxieties, gaining greater control over your emotions. It's also important to remember that action is a powerful antidote to anxiety. Marcus Aurelius encourages us to not only reflect on our fears, but to take concrete steps to confront them. If you're worried about a project at work, for example, break the task down into smaller steps and start working on them one at a time. Focused action helps dispel anxiety by replacing fear paralysis with tangible progress. Anxiety is a choice, an internal response that we can learn to manage and overcome. Marcus Aurelius, through his meditations, shows us that inner peace is achievable when we take responsibility for our emotions and cultivate a mindset of action, presence, and acceptance. By adopting these principles, we can transform our relationship with anxiety and live a fuller, more meaningful life. Therefore, confront your fears with self-awareness and action. Recognize what is under your control and accept what is not. By doing so, you will find that anxiety loses its power, making room for peace, clarity, and personal growth. Eighth lesson, the secret to self-control. Self-discipline is one of the most valued virtues in Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, reminds us of the importance of being strict with ourselves while exercising tolerance with others. This duality is key to becoming masters of ourselves, cultivating a strong and resilient character without falling into the trap of judging or dominating those around us. Imagine self-discipline as an application that you make yourself, a personal signature to a continuous improvement contract. There is no external imposition. It is a conscious choice to submit to a high standard of behavior and thought. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that this discipline must be applied first to ourselves. He said, "Be strict with yourself and tolerant with others." This teaching invites us to internalize the idea that true growth comes from within. Self-discipline requires us to be honest about our own mistakes and failures. Recognizing our weaknesses is the first step to overcoming them. Seneca advises us to do a daily review of our actions. Each night before going to sleep, analyze what you did right and wrong during the day. This habit of constant self-reflection helps us identify areas where we need to improve and commit to actions that lead us to a state of greater virtue and excellence. However, this internal discipline must be balanced with a compassionate approach towards others. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the need to understand and forgive the faults of others, recognizing that we are all on a journey of growth. He said that when dealing with others, we should be kind and understanding, as each person is fighting their own internal battles. This tolerance not only improves our relationships, but also helps us maintain inner peace. avoiding the frustration and anger that can arise from judging others harshly. In order to practice self-discipline effectively, it is essential to set clear and realistic goals. A well-defined plan provides us with a path forward and keeps us focused on our aspirations. At the same time, we must be flexible and adjust our expectations as we face unexpected challenges. Flexibility is a form of self-discipline that allows us to adapt and persevere, while maintaining our integrity and determination. In addition, it is important to cultivate habits that reinforce self-discipline. Regular practice of activities that require control and effort, such as physical exercise, meditation, and studying, strengthens our ability to maintain discipline in other areas of life. Marcus Aurelius, for example, devoted time daily to writing and reflection, activities that helped him maintain the clarity and focus needed to lead and live with virtue. Aristotle, in his Nicomachean Ethics, also talks about the importance of practice in character formation. We become what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. This teaching complements the Stoic view that self-discipline is an ongoing journey of personal improvement. Every small disciplined action we take reinforces our commitment to growth and brings us closer to our highest goals. So be demanding with yourself, but understanding with others. This balanced approach not only promotes healthier personal development, but also builds stronger and more harmonious relationships. Self-discipline is about self-mastery, the ability to direct our life with wisdom and compassion, regardless of external circumstances. Ninth lesson: turning challenges into opportunities. In the journey of life, we are constantly confronted with obstacles and challenges. However, for the Stoics, these difficulties are not mere impediments, but opportunities for growth and transformation. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, uses the metaphor of fire that turns everything into fuel to illustrate how we should face adversity. Talent is not just a matter of individual skills, but of what we do for the good of others and society. Marcus Aurelius stated that the fruit of life is character and good behavior for the common good. The Stoics did not pursue philosophy only for their own benefit, but to contribute positively to the community, to humanity. It is not about achieving personal fame or wealth, but about using our capacities to promote the collective good. It reminds us that the true measure of talent and virtue is in our actions toward others. Stoic philosophy challenges us to live each day as if it were our last. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that life is short and fragile, and that we should make the most of every moment. In his words, life is like a river in constant flux. We don't know when we will reach the end. This thinking drives us to act with purpose and intention, without letting external circumstances determine our behavior. To be Stoic is to turn every difficulty into an opportunity to practice virtue. By applying this philosophy, we can find strength and resilience in the most adverse situations, seeing them as opportunities to cultivate patience, courage, and wisdom. When we face difficulties, we must ask ourselves, how can I use this to grow? How can I turn this obstacle into fuel for my progress? These questions help us maintain a positive and proactive mindset, focusing on solutions rather than problems. Every challenge is a chance to show our true nature and to become better versions of ourselves. Additionally, Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of contributing to the common good. Marcus Aurelius urges us to think about how our actions impact others and society as a whole. True greatness is not just in overcoming personal challenges, but in using our experiences and skills to help others do the same. By acting for the good of others, we strengthen our character and promote a more just and harmonious world. Living well means making a difference in the lives of others. Every action, every decision must be guided by the principle of contributing to the common welfare. By adopting this perspective, we find a deeper purpose in our lives, one that goes beyond personal success and connects us to humanity as a whole. In order to apply these Stoic teachings to our lives, it is important to cultivate self-discipline and constant reflection. We should regularly review our actions and intentions, asking ourselves if we are truly contributing to the common good and if we are using our talents to the best of our ability. The daily practice of meditation and self-reflection, as recommended by Marcus Aurelius, helps us maintain focus and intention in our lives. By embracing this mindset, we can find strength and resilience in adversity, act with integrity, and leave a positive impact on the world around us. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: "Life is short, but there is always time for kindness." By living with this wisdom, we can make the most of each day and make a difference in the lives of others. 10th lesson: don't wait for tomorrow. In the search for personal improvement and the achievement of our goals, we often come across an abyss between what we know we should do and what we actually do. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor and philosopher, offers us a clear and practical guideline to overcome this gap: the discipline of action. It is a philosophy that reminds us that true transformation is not in what we think or plan, but in the concrete actions we take, step by step. We all have goals and aspirations, whether it's adopting a healthier diet, starting a new project, or simply keeping the house in order. However, we often postpone these actions to an uncertain future, waiting for the perfect moment to begin. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that we should not wait for tomorrow when we can act today. Time is a precious resource, and every lost moment is a wasted opportunity to practice excellence and virtue. Consider a practical example. If you want to improve your health, you probably already know what you need to do. Eat better, exercise regularly, and take care of your mental well-being. The information is widely available and accessible. What is often missing is the decision to act. Marcus Aurelius challenges us to take this first step, however small, and to continue moving forward consistently. It is the sum of these small daily actions that leads to big changes over time. The philosopher Seneca reminds us, "As long as we live, we learn to live." This teaching encourages us to see each day as a new opportunity to take action and grow. The discipline of action is fundamental for this continuous learning. Instead of getting lost in endless thoughts and planning, we should focus on taking small actions that cumulatively move us toward our goals. In everyday life, we face numerous distractions and challenges that can lead us astray. However, the Stoics teach us to cultivate internal discipline to stay focused on our actions. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that no one can stop us from taking the first step. The power to act is always in our hands. No matter how small or insignificant our steps seem, the important thing is that we continue to move in the right direction. The discipline of action is, therefore, a continuous exercise of self-overcoming. Every action taken reinforces our ability to act again, creating a virtuous cycle of progress and growth. When faced with inertia or procrastination, we must remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: "What matters is not what you think or say you are going to do, but what you actually do." Through action, we transform intentions into reality and potential into realization. To practice this philosophy, start by identifying one small action you can take today toward your goal. It could be something as simple as writing a to-do list, taking a 10-minute walk, or preparing a healthy meal. The important thing is to start and continue. Each step you take strengthens your discipline and brings you closer to your goals. Reflecting on these Stoic lessons invites us to take a more proactive and determined approach to our lives. The discipline of action is not just a daily practice, but a way of living. By internalizing these principles, we can transform our existence, achieving our goals and living according to our deepest values. Marcus Aurelius showed us that true greatness lies in the ability to act with purpose and determination, even in the face of adversity. So don't wait for tomorrow. The time to act is now. The power to transform your life is in your hands, step by step, action by action. Do you want to discover the secrets of Stoic wisdom that can transform your life for the better? So I'll leave 2 videos next to you so you can continue your growth and learn to deal with life situations with strength and resilience. And if you identified with some of these lessons I presented, share them with us in the comments and join this community in search of growth and mutual learning. Make your mark, inspire, and be inspired by others who are also seeking a life with more meaning and balance. I'll wait for you in the next video.